Toyota is shaking up the automotive world once again. This iconic Japanese company, celebrated for its reliability and groundbreaking innovations, has just dropped a game-changing bombshell that could redefine the future of electric vehicles, EVs. We all know Toyota for its impressive track record in developing top-tier features that keep customers coming back. But this time, they've truly outdone themselves. They've introduced a groundbreaking technology that's poised to revolutionize the EV landscape. The EV revolution has been a slow burn, struggling to gain the traction it needs, just as Toyota's visionary Akio Toyoda predicted. Now, Toyota has swooped in with a potential game-changer that could deliver the final blow to the EV movement. What exactly has Toyota developed, and what does it mean for the future of the EV industry? Brace yourselves as we dive into Toyota's new Ammonia engine and explore why it might spell the end for electric vehicles. The GAC Group, with Toyota Motor Corporation as its major shareholder, has achieved an extraordinary feat by creating an engine that runs on good old ammonia. You might be wondering, what's so special about ammonia? For starters, it's a fuel that doesn't emit carbon dioxide when it burns, unlike traditional fossil fuels. But how does it work? Ammonia could be a zero-emission fuel because it hardly produces any CO2 emissions during combustion. However, there's more to the story. While ammonia doesn't emit CO2, engines that run on it still produce other exhaust gases, including unburned ammonia, nitrogen oxides, NOx, and nitrous oxide, N2O. These are harmful to health, very harmful in fact. Yet, the allure of ammonia lies in its carbon-free nature, meaning it doesn't produce much CO2 when it burns. Sounds great, right? But there's a catch. Converting ammonia into a usable fuel for combustion engines requires significant energy and specialized equipment, adding layers of complexity. So, what does this mean for the future of electric vehicles and the broader automotive industry? Join us as we delve into the details of Toyota's revolutionary ammonia engine and its potential to transform the landscape of clean energy transportation. Is this the innovation that will render EVs obsolete, or is it just another step in the ongoing quest for sustainable mobility? Let's find out. There are a few ways, some more realistic than others, to make ammonia the new gasoline, but none of them seem to deliver the real benefits that are expected from an alternative fuel. One way is similar to Porsche's synthetic e-fuel project, which uses a lot of energy to make fuel that can be used in cars. Ammonia needs a lot of energy to be converted into fuel. You can reduce the energy needs by using some of the ammonia to make hydrogen, since ammonia is made of 3 parts hydrogen. Then you can use the hydrogen to make a fuel cell that makes electricity. But that would be like solving one problem by creating another, which you don't want. Another way is similar to how Porsche makes synthetic gasoline. They take carbon dioxide from the air and mix it with hydrogen to make methanol. Then they use the methanol in a process called methanol to gasoline, MTG, which makes a fuel that works like modern gasoline. A better way to turn ammonia into a usable automotive fuel would be to make a mixture of different ingredients, such as diesel, gasoline, or even hydrogen, to make a liquid fuel that can be used in internal combustion engines like any other fuel type. GAC has made a prototype engine with Toyota's help that can run on liquid ammonia, NH3, and something else. This used to be a technology that was only used on ships or farming equipment, so let's see why it's a bad idea for cars. GAC has now unveiled its impressive 2.0L 4-cylinder engine that packs a punch with 161 horsepower, while boasting a jaw-dropping 90% reduction in carbon emissions. The company mentioned that it had to overcome several challenges during the development of this engine, from dealing with rising combustion pressure to battling excessive nitrogen emissions. Now you might be thinking, isn't ammonia that highly poisonous substance we use as fertilizer? Well, yes, but it turns out it's also got a flammable side that has caught the eye of the transport industry. Who knew that something we associate with cleaning products could potentially clean up our transportation sector too? Ammonia has about half of the energy density of petrol at 3.6 kWh per liter, but it does not produce any carbon, hydrocarbon, or CO2 when burned. Ammonia is being explored as a low-carbon fuel by various entities, but there are difficulties to solve. It is not only harder to ignite than conventional fossil fuels, but it also burns slower. One of the most impressive achievements in this effort has been finding solutions to the problems related to burning ammonia fast and efficiently. Ammonia is a compound of nitrogen and hydrogen that can be created from renewable sources such as solar, wind, or hydropower. It has a high energy density and does not emit carbon dioxide when burned. The company's engineers solved this challenge by creating a new combustion system that can ignite and burn ammonia fast and efficiently. They used advanced technologies such as spark ignition, direct injection, and exhaust gas recirculation to make the combustion process better and lower emissions. By doing this, they made it possible for ammonia to be used effectively in the passenger car industry, which could reduce greenhouse gas emissions and lower dependence on fossil fuels. Ji Hongzhong, an engineer at the GAC R&D Center, spoke to the public and said, "We have solved the problem of ammonia being slow to burn and use the fuel for the passenger car industry. We are excited about its potential value for society and for commercial applications." He explained that ammonia can be used as a fuel in different ways, depending on what the customers want and need. It can be used in internal combustion engines, fuel cells, or hybrid systems. He also said that ammonia can be stored and transported easily using the same infrastructure that is already there, unlike hydrogen, which needs high pressure or low temperature. Toyota has a different approach to emissions-free transportation, involving a mix of alternative fuels and traditional electric vehicles. Besides their hydrogen fuel cell vehicles like the Mirai, Toyota is also trying out hydrogen-powered combustion engines. They have shown this interest by taking part in various motorsport events to test and evaluate this technology. So will this ammonia engine really be the end of the EV movement? Well, not really. Toyota has been in the spotlight over the years for its innovative alternative energy approaches and ambitious fueling objectives, especially compared to its somewhat delayed entry into the EV market. And so, it's not surprising that GAC's prototype engine is said to have been developed with some of Toyota's expertise in looking for BEV alternatives. However, there are so many problems and drawbacks with liquid ammonia that even Porsche's e-fuels, which currently cost around $45 a gallon or €1 per liter, make more sense financially. One of the main problems with liquid ammonia is that it is very toxic and very corrosive. And on top of that, after combustion, it releases a lot of nitrogen into the atmosphere. These three reasons alone would make it unsuitable as an e-fuel replacement or an EV killer. Nitrogen is a greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming and climate change. Still, GAC and Toyota strongly believe that they have solved the nitrogen-emitting part by making the prototype engine with a very high compression ratio, among other things. Another problem with liquid ammonia is that the two remaining downsides are pretty much impossible to solve, at least in a viable way. Can you even imagine the nightmare of dealing with the fuel system maintenance of an ammonia-running engine? The fuel system would have to be made of special materials that can resist the corrosion of ammonia. What if that high compression is not maintained because of some unexpected problems with the rest of the car? It would just pollute 1,000 times more than any gas-guzzling vehicle. The corrosive nature of the substance also makes it difficult to handle before it even gets in your fuel tank and after. You would have to wear protective gear and use special equipment to avoid contact with ammonia. In the minds of many, an ammonia engine is another cure that somehow seems worse than the supposed disease it's trying to cure. The disease is the dependence on fossil fuels and the emissions they cause. We're probably better off dealing with the infrastructure needed for charging all the millions of BEVs that are coming. BEVs are battery electric vehicles that run on electricity and do not produce any emissions. As this field continues to develop, it is likely that further innovations and optimizations will contribute to achieving environmentally friendly transportation goals. And when perfected, ammonia engines could offer a low-carbon and cost-effective alternative to fossil fuels, and reduce dependence on oil imports and the air pollution levels in China and beyond.